Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the new Volume 2 by Chili Surfboards. So the Volume 2 I've been riding is a stock 511, and it comes in at 511 by 19 1/4 by 2 9/16 and exactly 30 litres. So I've actually had a couple of Volume 2s. I've been riding this for a while. I was actually lucky enough to get one from Chili a while ago when it was still in design, and they call it a Project Black before it's a model. And I was absolutely frothing on it. So the Volume 2 is a pro model by a QS and was a CT surfer, Mitch Colborn. Absolute ripper. Always been a fan of his surfing. And he used to have a model called the Spawn. So years ago, the Spawn was one of my favorite performance shortboards. But I always kind of struggled with the Spawn in the stock dims. So if I wanted to get what volume I wanted, say it was 29 or 30 litres, I'd have to go like 6'4" or something like that. So I ended up getting custom Spawns, obviously. So I get them a little bit shorter and wider. And it was one of my favorite boards. So I rode them kind of 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, all around my volumes, and they felt absolutely perfect. So when I heard that Chili was working with Mitch on something that was kind of similar to the Spawn, but for smaller and average waves and held a bit more volume, I was absolutely frothing to check it out. So I had that a while ago, absolutely loved it. And since then, I got a Volume 2, I got a 510, but we made it 30 litres. And that felt really good because I said I'd been riding my Spawns kind of 5'11", 6 foot. I felt like the Volume 2 needed to be a little bit shorter. And that 510 felt really good. But actually going back and chatting with Chili and the guys at Chili Surfboards, I actually came back and just got a stock 5'11", and this has felt absolutely perfect. So looking over the Volume 2, like I said, it's got a lot that's come from a previous model they had called the Spawn. So it's meant to be kind of a smaller step downy version of the Spawn for average waves, but it actually has still quite a lot of rocker through the nose, and it has this really nice nose lift. And it excels in probably any kind of waves. It's a performance shortboard. Flipping it over, there's a single concave that comes through the front. They say it's a double through the fins, and you can feel that double. And they actually say it's kind of unique out the back. It's a single upon exit. So that double actually comes through the fins. And just before you get to the end, rather than having a V or a flat exit, you've actually got a single again. And that's to make the board really fast. What they wanted to create was a board that was fast in small and average waves, and they've done that with the Volume 2. So I've been surfing the Volume 2 for a while now. Like I said, I've had 2 or 3 of them. I also used to be a big fan of the Spawn, and I used to get them kind of thicker and wider, which was very similar to this. And I've absolutely loved it. There's lots of like small and fun boards out there, but I love performance shortboard shapes that are still really easy to surf, and you can surf them in waves kind of, you know, knee waist high to well overhead. You know, those boards, if you're a good surfer and you like a performance shortboard outline with a pointy nose and whatnot, but you don't want to get like 100 boards and you want a board that will work across most conditions, the Volume 2 is it. So I've been surfing it a whole variety of conditions. Like I said, I've had a few, so I've been surfing it probably for the best part of a year. And I live in Sydney, average beach breaks. You know, we can get days that are the small and fun, and we can get large pumping days. But generally, you know, we're getting pretty average waves in kind of the waist to chest high region, a little bit overhead, but nothing too stellar. And the Volume 2 has been perfect for all that kind of stuff. What I've really enjoyed is it has just, a lot of boards will kind of bulk a lot of foam in one area, maybe under the chest or whatever, but it just has such a nice distribution of foam. So no point of the Volume 2 is actually overly thick. It has nice generous foam through the chest, and that just follows, you know, through the belly and out through the tail. And I've always been a big fan of some boards I feel kind of thin out too much under the back foot, but the Volume 2 is just perfect. It just has enough thickness and volume under your back foot to kind of keep that accelerator pedal under your foot and keep moving forward. Also the rocker on the Volume 2, you know, it's nothing aggressive through the center, but it has that nice nose lift. So in average and small conditions, you can feel that through the belly will keep you getting across flat sections and around sections and keep speed. But that lift through the nose, when you want to do more critical turns or in steeper sections, it's absolutely perfect. So it works really well in all those kind of conditions. Like I said, I got a 510, custom at 30 liters at first, and that felt really good. Like I enjoyed it, but I felt like there was something kind of missing. So I went back, chatted with the guys, and at 30 liters, the 511 was absolutely fine. And I sit just under 511, about 510 and a half. So I thought I'd give the 511 a go, and I had both. Just that little bit extra rail line felt absolutely perfect, because I was thinking it was more of a step down kind of squash performance shortboard, but it actually is just more of a performance shortboard. And I try and get my performance shortboards at around 511 at 30 liters, and this felt similar to those. This felt absolutely perfect. I enjoyed just, it's only an inch longer, but it just felt it had a nicer rail line. It felt a lot drivier than the 510, and it just felt like I could do some much better surfing on this than the 510. So I was stoked to check out the 510, but I was actually stoked that I could just go in there, get this 511 off the rack. This wasn't custom, and the thing was absolutely perfect. The only thing custom about it is this horrible pink paint job that I did, but anyway, that's my own fault. In the Volume 2, I've been riding a whole bunch of different fins. I'm a huge fan, and I've spoken about them a lot in a bunch of different reviews. The Chloe Andino fin. They felt really good in this board, but having watched Mitch surf, and I actually saw last year he was in Indonesia in a QS. I don't know if he won or he got second, but he was absolutely ripping. And he was riding the MF. I think he used to ride a lot of futures, but he's riding a bit of FCS now. So I saw him on the MF and thought I'd check it out. So the Chloe Andino in this board has felt really good on the smaller scale, like when waves are kind of in the knee to waist high range. But when I've surfed this, when waves have a little bit more push, probably in the chest and above, the MF Mick Fanning has felt absolutely perfect. So this is from the Carver family. So yeah, I enjoy these kind of fins when there's a bit more push in the wave and you're not generating a lot of speed. The wave has a lot of natural speed, and these just turn really, really well. And they truly complemented the Volume 2 when waves had a little bit more push and were kind of, chest, head high or above. This was a perfect setup. The Volume 2 is 30 liters. So in my performance shortboards, I try and go 511, 30 liters, and this is spot on. Like I said, the distribution of foam in the Volume 2 is perfect. There's no point in the board that feels overly thick or with too much volume or bulky. There's just this gentle, nice distribution of foam pretty much from the tip through to the tail. And that just makes surfing really easy and kind of gives you no surprises. You can kind of predict what the board's going to do. It's going to do what you want it to do. There's no bulky bits or anything like that aren't going to work. And I've really enjoyed that. It's been easy to paddle into waves, and the board is designed to be fast. It was designed to be a QS board for Mitch Colborn, to be fast in small and average waves. It does that really well, but I'm grabbing it when it's kind of chest, head high or above, and it excels in that area too. Look, overall, I've been frothing out on the Volume 2. Like I said, the Spawn, which has kind of come from, has been one of my favorite performance shortboards over the years. I've had a whole bunch, I've custom out different sizes. So it's absolutely frothing to check out the Volume 2. Also, Mitch Colborn's been one of my favorite surfers. As a natural footer, I've always struggled to watch goofy footers surf. I don't know why, but Mitch Colborn has someone that I haven't struggled to watch surf. I've really enjoyed his surfing, and I've enjoyed watching it develop over the years. So to check out his latest pro model was absolutely epic. Look, I loved it, and hope you get a chance to check one out. Thanks so much for watching today.